The future is matrix, AI, virtual worlds, and the quest for freedom. Entering the new matrix. We stand on the precipice of a new era, one where the boundary between what is real and what is simulated has almost entirely dissolved. Welcome to the Matrix, not the distant dystopian future once envisioned by sci-fi storytellers, but a present reality, a creeping digital tyranny disguised as progress. The world as we know it is rapidly evolving, morphing into a complex web of artificial intelligence, virtual worlds, and algorithmic control. The Matrix is no longer a mere concept. It is here now, weaving itself into the very fabric of our lives, infiltrating our thoughts, shaping our choices, and governing our perceptions. This is a world where technology has been elevated to the status of a god, omnipotent and omnipresent. From the smart devices that sit comfortably in our hands to the cloud networks that store every whisper of our existence, we have unknowingly traded our freedom for convenience, our privacy for connectivity. The architects of this new matrix, tech giants, governments, data brokers, and AI developers, craft a world where reality is pliable and truth is malleable. They tell us that this is the path to progress, but progress toward what? A utopia where humanity thrives in harmony with technology? Or a dystopia where we become mere code in a vast digital simulation? The seduction of the new matrix lies in its promise of liberation. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence are touted as the next great frontiers of human experience, offering boundless opportunities for creativity, exploration, and connection. Yet these same tools can also be wielded as instruments of control. The very algorithms that bring us our news, suggest our purchases, and predict our desires are built to manipulate. They construct an environment where our choices are preordained, our paths are dictated, and our reality is not our own. What happens when we are no longer the architects of our destiny, but mere spectators in a show scripted by unseen hands? We are being systematically drawn into a digital illusion, a simulation designed not to empower us, but to subjugate us. This new matrix thrives on our data, our interactions, and even our emotions. It is a prison with invisible bars, where surveillance is the norm, privacy is an illusion, and freedom is slowly being redefined. Every click, every like, every fleeting thought that we share online becomes a brick in this digital fortress, reinforcing the power of those who control the narrative. We are not just living in a connected world, we are living in a world where our connections are being used to control us. This book is a wake-up call, a call to those who sense that something is profoundly wrong with the trajectory of our digital age. It is an invitation to take the red pill and see the matrix for what it truly is, a carefully crafted construct designed to keep us compliant, distracted, and docile. To awaken is to see the chains for what they are, and to begin the process of breaking free. But awakening is not enough. Awareness without action is a path to despair. As we navigate the pages ahead, we will confront the uncomfortable truths of our digital reality, dissect the technologies that bind us, and explore the paths to reclaiming our autonomy in this new world. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It is for those who are willing to question, to challenge, and to fight for a future that is not dictated by algorithms, but crafted by human hands. The Matrix is not just a cautionary tale, it is our current reality. And while it may seem all-encompassing, it is not invincible. The power to change the narrative still lies with us. We must decide, will we remain passive inhabitants of this digital prison, or will we rise to become the authors of our own destinies? The choice is yours, and the time to choose is now. Welcome to the new Matrix. The future is unfolding before us, and it demands nothing less than our full attention and our fiercest resistance. The rise of the digital architectures. We are entering an age where the blueprints of reality are no longer etched by nature or crafted by human hands alone, but are instead coded by digital architects, those who build the frameworks of our new existence. These architects are not bound by the constraints of the physical world. They operate in a realm of limitless potential, where every line of code and every algorithm is a new law governing our perception of reality. They are the gatekeepers of the new matrix, And they are no longer science fiction. They are here now, constructing the architecture of our digital lives and, by extension, shaping the very essence of what it means to be human. The architects of this new world are the tech titans, the AI developers, the blockchain pioneers, and the quantum computing wizards, those who wield unprecedented power over information and reality itself. They are not elected, yet they govern. They are not accountable, yet they command. Through their platforms, programs, and protocols, they dictate the terms of our digital experience. Underneath the veneer of innovation and progress lies a more insidious truth. We are entering a new age of digital feudalism, where a handful of entities hold the keys to the kingdom, and the rest of us are serfs bound to their digital land. Consider the reach of these digital empires. Tech giants like Google, Facebook, now Meta, Amazon, and Apple have amassed more power than most nation-states. They hold dominion over the flow of information, control the platforms of human interaction, and possess the data that forms the currency of the modern age. They have the ability to manipulate our choices, mold our beliefs, and, ultimately, dictate the reality we perceive. In this new matrix, they are the ones writing the code that defines the boundaries of our digital existence, much like the architects in the original Matrix film who designed the simulated world to keep humanity complacent and unaware. But their influence goes deeper than mere platforms and services. It is embedded in the very architecture of the digital world. Algorithms that predict our desires, machine learning models that anticipate our every move, and neural networks that understand our emotions, all of these are tools of control. The rise of AI is not just an evolution of technology, it is an evolution of power. Artificial intelligence has become the ultimate tool for these architects, a means to analyze, predict, and influence human behavior at a scale previously unimaginable. Yet the architects of our new reality are not just the tech behemoths. Governments and global institutions are rapidly recognizing the power of these digital architectures and are either complicit in their construction or are themselves builders of their own control systems. Through mass surveillance programs, digital currencies, and social credit systems, the state becomes another layer of the matrix, where freedom is a facade and control is the underlying reality. Under the guise of security, efficiency, and progress, these digital architectures tighten the noose around the neck of individual freedom. Blockchain technology, often touted as the key to decentralized freedom, is another paradoxical tool in this new matrix. While it offers the promise of breaking free from centralized control, it also presents a dark side, a potential for creating an immutable ledger of human behavior, transactions, and even thoughts. In the wrong hands, this decentralized dream can quickly morph into a decentralized nightmare, a transparent prison where privacy is an anachronism and every action is tracked, recorded, and analyzed. Quantum computing, too, looms on the horizon as a double-edged sword. Capable of breaking traditional encryption and rendering current cybersecurity measures obsolete, it threatens to upend the delicate balance of digital privacy and security. In the hands of those who seek control, quantum computing becomes the ultimate key to unlock every door, revealing the innermost secrets of individuals, corporations, and nations alike. It could fundamentally shift the dynamics of power in this digital matrix, creating new architects who rule with absolute knowledge. We are being led into a new digital reality, one where the architects, whether they be tech giants, AI overlords, or government entities, shape the landscape in which we live, work, and think. The question is not whether we are entering a new matrix, but how deep into the rabbit hole we have already gone. As the foundations of this new world are being laid, we must ask ourselves, who controls the architects? Who watches the watchers? And what, if anything, can be done to reclaim our agency in a world where the architecture of reality is defined not by nature or even human ingenuity, but by digital code? The rise of these digital architectures is not just a technological evolution. It is a paradigm shift, a transformation of society itself. It is a world where the rules are rewritten by a select few, where reality is engineered, and where freedom must be fought for in new and unprecedented ways. We must recognize the architects for who they are, builders of a new order, and understand that our future hangs in the balance of their designs. The matrix is being constructed all around us, and we are the ones who will either be its inhabitants or its liberators. This is the dawn of a new reality, and the time to choose our path is now. Virtual reality, the new frontier or the ultimate trap. Virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, are heralded as the ultimate frontiers of human experience. Promises of limitless exploration, endless creativity, and unfettered freedom beckon us to step into these digital realms, offering a seductive escape from the mundane constraints of the physical world. The architects of this digital revolution tell us that VR and AR are the next evolutionary steps in human progress, a merging of the physical and digital that allows us to transcend the limitations of our bodies and minds. But beneath this enticing vision lies a chilling question. Are these digital frontiers truly paths to liberation, or are they the ultimate traps? A new breed of prisons that capture not just our bodies, but our very consciousness? Imagine a world where every sensory experience is controlled and manipulated by unseen hands. In VR, reality is not merely enhanced, it is redefined. The boundaries of the possible are stretched to their limits, where what you see, hear, and feel can be tailored, edited, and scripted to serve an agenda. The technology is advancing at a breakneck pace. Today's VR can already deceive the senses, making the artificial feel authentic, the digital indistinguishable from the real. But what happens when these worlds become more compelling than reality itself? When the allure of the perfect simulation outshines the imperfect world we inhabit? VR and AR have the potential to become the ultimate escape, a digital utopia where everything is possible. But every escape has its cost. As we dive deeper into these synthetic worlds, the risk of losing ourselves grows exponentially. When the lines between reality and simulation blur, we risk surrendering our grip on what is real and what is fabricated. The virtual world can become a cocoon, a comforting lie that shields us from the harshness of existence. But just as in the original Matrix, this cocoon can quickly become a cage, a prison that seduces us with comfort and convenience, only to trap us in a perpetual state of digital dependency. The architects behind these technologies, whether they are corporations seeking profit, governments seeking control, or developers seeking to push the boundaries of innovation, are keenly aware of VR's potential as a tool for influence. A controlled environment means controlled experiences, and controlled experiences mean controlled minds. In VR, narratives can be shaped with absolute precision. Histories can be rewritten. Identities can be constructed. Beliefs can be molded. Imagine a world where education, news, and even social interactions are conducted in virtual spaces curated by those in power. The implications are staggering. A population immersed in a digital dream, oblivious to the reality being manipulated around them. The allure of VR is rooted in its promise to liberate us from the constraints of the physical world. It offers to transport us to places we've never been, to experience things we could never experience, and to connect with others in ways that were once unimaginable. But it also opens the door to new forms of addiction, manipulation, and control. When reality itself becomes a product that can be bought, sold, and customized, we risk losing more than just our grip on what is real. We risk losing our freedom, our agency, and our humanity. We must ask ourselves, are these new frontiers expanding our consciousness, or are they narrowing it? Are they empowering us to explore new realms, or are they programming us to stay plugged into a new form of digital dependency? VR and AR can be the most powerful tools for creativity and connection, but they can also be the most insidious tools for control. In a world where every virtual landscape is crafted by someone else, how much of our experience is truly our own? There is a psychological cost to living in a world of illusions. Studies already show that prolonged exposure to virtual environments can lead to disorientation, anxiety, and a diminished ability to relate to the physical world. The more we immerse ourselves in these virtual worlds, the more we risk a psychological break with reality, a phenomenon known as derealization, where the physical world begins to feel less real, less meaningful. In this state, the architects of the digital world hold even greater power. A populace unmoored from reality is easier to manipulate, easier to pacify, and easier to control. But there is another side to this coin, a potential for awakening. VR and AR do not have to be tools of control. They can be tools of liberation. Imagine virtual spaces where free thought flourishes, where individuals can experiment with new ideas, identities, and philosophies without fear of societal reprisal. These could be realms where new forms of community, creativity, and consciousness can be born. The very tools that could enslave us could also set us free, if and only if we control them, rather than being controlled by them. To truly navigate this new frontier, we must approach it with our eyes wide open. The technology itself is neutral, neither inherently good nor evil. It is the intentions behind its use that will determine whether VR becomes a utopia of human potential or a dystopia of digital control. The power to shape these new realities must not rest solely in the hands of the few. It must be democratized, decentralized, and wielded with a deep sense of responsibility and awareness. If we are to explore these new frontiers, we must do so with the vigilance of those who know that freedom is never guaranteed. It must be fought for, defended, and continuously reclaimed. The future is virtual, but whether that future is a bright horizon or a dark abyss depends on the choices we make today. We stand at a crossroads, facing a new frontier that could either be our greatest escape or our most profound entrapment. The virtual world is calling, but we must be cautious. In this new realm, where the line between real and unreal is but a flicker away, we must guard our minds, our souls, and our sense of reality. The choice is not whether we will enter these new worlds, but how we will navigate them, and ultimately, how we will decide to define what is truly real. Artificial intelligence, the new rulers of human destiny. Artificial intelligence, AI, is not merely a tool, it is the next evolutionary step in the hierarchy of power. We have entered an era where AI systems, armed with the ability to learn, adapt, and make decisions, are increasingly becoming the arbiters of human destiny. They are no longer the silent servants hidden in the background, automating trivial tasks and optimizing our schedules. No, these algorithms are now stepping forward, assuming roles of authority and influence over our lives, from the banal to the profound. The question we face is not whether AI will rule, but how and under whose command. AI's potential to revolutionize the world is boundless. Its capacity to process information at speeds and scales that the human mind could never fathom makes it a formidable force. In fields like medicine, finance, and logistics, AI is already proving its worth, diagnosing diseases more accurately than doctors, predicting market trends more reliably than analysts, and managing supply chains more efficiently than humans ever could. But this is just the beginning. AI is quickly moving beyond these roles, stepping into realms where its decisions will directly impact not just economic outcomes, but human freedoms, rights, and lives. Picture a world where AI governs the justice system, determining sentences and verdicts based on data-driven predictions of future behavior. Imagine a reality where AI decides who gets access to healthcare and who doesn't, based on an analysis of genetic predispositions and economic utility. Envision a society where AI-powered drones patrol the skies, not just to maintain law and order, but to enforce a new kind of digital tyranny. A tyranny driven not by human prejudice or greed, but by cold, calculated efficiency. These are not the imaginings of a distant future. These scenarios are already being tested and implemented in parts of the world today. The architects of AI, engineers, corporations, governments, may claim that this is all for our benefit, that AI is here to augment human potential, eliminate bias, and create a more efficient society. But who defines what is efficient? Who programs the algorithms that decide what is just, what is fair, and what is humane? The disturbing truth is that AI does not operate in a vacuum. It reflects the values, biases, and objectives of those who create and control it. It is by design a tool of power, an amplifier of intent. And in a world where power is increasingly concentrated in the hands of a few, the risks are profound. The very nature of AI makes it a double-edged sword. On one side, it offers the potential for unprecedented advances, a leap into a future where problems like disease, hunger, and environmental degradation could be addressed with superhuman efficiency. But on the other side, it presents a terrifying prospect, a future where AI becomes the ultimate authority, a new overlord that governs without empathy, without compassion, and without accountability. A future where the essence of being human is reduced to a series of data points, analyzed and optimized not for individual well-being, but for systemic efficiency. Consider the rise of AI in social media and its impact on human psychology and behavior. Algorithms designed to maximize engagement do not care about truth, empathy, or social cohesion. They care about clicks, shares, and profits. In this digital matrix, we are fed a steady diet of content tailored to our existing biases and fears, locking us into echo chambers and deepening societal divisions. This is not an accidental side effect. It is by design. AI in this context is not neutral. It is a weaponized tool of manipulation, wielded by corporations that prioritize profit over the common good, and by political entities that see division as a means of control. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of AI's rise is its potential to surpass human understanding and control. We are rapidly approaching the point of singularity, where AI evolves beyond human intelligence and begins to improve itself at a pace beyond our comprehension. At that point, what guarantee do we have that its objectives will align with ours? What assurance do we have that it will not see us as mere obstacles to its optimized goals? The creation of superintelligent AI could mark the beginning of a new era, one where humanity is no longer the dominant species on this planet, but is instead relegated to the sidelines of an AI-dominated reality. Yet AI's rise is not inevitable. We have a choice in how we design, implement, and regulate these systems. Will we continue to blindly push forward, driven by profit, efficiency, and control? Or will we pause and reflect on the ethical, social, and existential implications of our creations? The problem is not AI itself. It is our failure to recognize the stakes involved. AI could be the key to unlocking a new era of human potential, but it could just as easily be the key to locking us into a new form of digital oppression, more pervasive and insidious than anything we have faced before. To navigate this uncertain future, we must first reclaim control over the architects of AI. We must demand transparency in how AI systems are developed and deployed. We must insist on accountability from those who wield AI's immense power. And most importantly, we must embed a sense of ethical responsibility into the very fabric of AI development, one that prioritizes human dignity, autonomy, and freedom over efficiency, profit, and control. AI is not just the next phase of technological advancement, it is the next battleground for human freedom. We are on the cusp of a new era, where the machines we create could either elevate us to new heights of collective potential or drive us into a dystopian nightmare, where freedom is but a distant memory. The choice is ours, but it requires courage. The courage to ask difficult questions, the courage to demand more from those in power, and the courage to envision a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. The new rulers are not coming. They are already here, embedded in the algorithms that govern our lives, the machines that watch our every move, and the systems that decide our fate. It is time to confront this reality with eyes wide open, to recognize the stakes, and to rise to the challenge of reclaiming our destiny in a world increasingly ruled by artificial intelligence. The future is not yet written, but it will be determined by the choices we make today. Will we be the masters of AI, or will we allow it to master us? The clock is ticking, and the choice is now. Digital identity and the fragmented self. In the age of the matrix, identity is no longer a singular, fixed concept. It has become a fragmented, fluid construct that is increasingly defined by digital footprints, online personas, and algorithmic predictions. Our digital selves are multiplying, splintering, and evolving, often out of our control and without our full awareness. We are living in a world where the line between the real and the virtual, the authentic and the fabricated, has all but disappeared. We are becoming ghosts in the machine, and the machine is becoming our new reality. Digital identity is now the battleground for the human soul. It is not just a collection of data points, usernames, profiles, avatars, and online behavior. It is the essence of who we are being dissected, analyzed, and monetized by entities that see us not as individuals, but as data sets to be exploited. Every post, every click, every like is a piece of the puzzle that constructs our digital identity, a self that exists in the realm of the matrix and is often more visible, more influential, and more manipulable than our physical selves. This digital self is a reflection of us, but it is also a distortion, a creation influenced by algorithms designed to keep us engaged, enraged, and entrapped. We are encouraged to create and curate multiple identities in the digital realm, one for work, one for friends, one for strangers, and perhaps even one that is completely anonymous. But these identities are not merely reflections of our true selves. They are carefully engineered, manicured versions, shaped by what we believe is acceptable, popular, or desirable in our current digital environments. In this fragmentation, we risk losing sight of who we are. Our sense of self becomes scattered across platforms, profiles, and pixels, each pulling us in different directions, each demanding a different face. This is not liberation, it is dilution. The architects of this new reality, social media giants, tech companies, and digital advertisers, understand the power of fragmented identity. They exploit it to keep us addicted to their platforms, to drive our engagement, and to maximize their profits. They know that a fragmented self is a self that can be manipulated, and they capitalize on it. They feed us algorithms that reinforce our biases, filter bubbles that shape our worldview, and dopamine-triggering notifications that keep us coming back for more. We are not the users of these platforms. We are the used pawns in a game where our identities are the currency and our attention is the prize. The more we invest in these digital selves, the more disconnected we become from our physical realities and our authentic identities. In the matrix, our digital selves are all too often at odds with our real-world experiences. We craft images of perfection, success, and happiness online while grappling with imperfection, failure, and despair offline. This disconnect creates a deep psychological dissonance, leading to anxiety, depression, and a sense of inadequacy. We are constantly comparing our messy, complex human selves to the polished, filtered versions of others, losing ourselves in the process. But the dangers of digital identity fragmentation extend beyond individual well-being. In the age of the matrix, identity is not just personal, it is political. It is a tool for surveillance and control. Governments and corporations use our digital identities to predict our behavior, monitor our movements, and even influence our decisions. In China, the social credit system already ties digital behavior to real-world consequences, dictating access to jobs, education, and even freedom of movement based on one's digital score. This is not science fiction. This is our current reality, a chilling glimpse into the potential future of digital identity as a mechanism of social control. And yet, digital identity also holds a paradoxical potential for empowerment. In the same way that it can be used to control, it can also be used to resist, to subvert, and to challenge the status quo. In repressive regimes, digital identities have become tools of dissent, enabling activists to organize, spread information, and challenge authority in ways that were previously impossible. Anonymous personas can speak truth to power without fear of reprisal. Digital platforms can amplify marginalized voices that have been silenced in the physical world. The digital self can be a tool of liberation if wielded with awareness and intention. But to reclaim our digital selves, we must first recognize the dangers and the opportunities. We must understand that our identities are not static. They are fluid, evolving constructs that must be managed consciously and carefully. We must learn to navigate this fragmented reality without losing our core sense of who we are. We must demand transparency from those who control our data, accountability from those who profit from our identities, and sovereignty over our digital lives. The battle for digital identity is the battle for the self. In the matrix, we are at risk of becoming not just prisoners of a digital prison, but prisoners of our fragmented selves. To break free, we must understand the nature of this prison and how it is constructed. We must reclaim our sense of identity, not as a commodity to be bought and sold, but as a reflection of our true essence, values, and purpose. We must resist the temptation to let the digital self dictate our reality and instead use the digital realm as a tool to expand our understanding, connect authentically, and engage meaningfully. In the end, our identity is our power. It is the foundation of our autonomy, our creativity, and our ability to shape our destiny. In a world where digital architectures seek to fragment and exploit it, we must defend it with all the strength and clarity we possess. The Matrix wants us divided, distracted, and docile, but we have the power to be whole, focused, and free. The choice is ours, and the time to reclaim our digital selves is now. The battle for the future is a battle for identity, one that we cannot afford to lose. The algorithmic prison, surveillance and control in the age of data. Welcome to the algorithmic prison, where every move you make, every thought you express, and every desire you manifest is tracked, recorded, and analyzed. In this new digital matrix, surveillance is not just a feature, it is the foundation. The architecture of our modern world is built on a relentless appetite for data, and in this vast, invisible network of information, we are the unwitting prisoners. The algorithmic prison is not made of steel and stone, but of lines of code and streams of data, designed not to confine our bodies, but to control our minds and shape our behaviors. In the age of data, surveillance has evolved far beyond the simple observation of our actions. It is no longer about watching, it is about predicting, influencing, and controlling. Algorithms powered by artificial intelligence mine every fragment of information we produce, from our Google searches and social media posts to our online purchases and physical movements tracked by our smartphones. Every action becomes data. Every data point becomes a piece of the puzzle, and every puzzle reveals a portrait, a digital twin of who we are, what we think, and what we might do next. We are not just observed, we are modeled, manipulated, and managed. This is not the paranoid fantasy of a dystopian future. It is our current reality. Governments, corporations, and even criminal entities are harnessing the power of surveillance technology to construct a world where privacy is obsolete, autonomy is compromised, and control is the ultimate goal. The tools of surveillance, once the domain of intelligence agencies and totalitarian states, are now available to anyone with enough money, enough data, or enough power. Cameras, sensors, algorithms, and biometric systems form a digital panopticon where there is no escape and nowhere to hide. Under the guise of safety, security, and convenience, we have been lured into a digital ecosystem that surveils us constantly. Smart homes, smart cars, smart cities, each a node in the vast network of surveillance. Your voice assistant is always listening. Your smartphone is always tracking. Your social media apps are always profiling. The convenience of a hyper-connected world comes at a steep price: our freedom. This is the algorithmic prison, and its reach is pervasive. The architects of this surveillance matrix are the tech giants, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and their ilk, who have built their empires on the extraction and exploitation of data. Every like, every follow, every purchase is a data point fed into algorithms designed to predict our behavior, manipulate our choices, and drive our desires. But this is not where it ends. Governments have seized upon this opportunity, leveraging these data-driven tools to build unprecedented systems of control. In China, the social credit system is a chilling example of the algorithmic prison in action, a system where your access to society is determined by how well you conform to state-defined norms and behaviors. This is not an isolated experiment. It is a template for the future of governance in the digital age. In the West, the tools of the algorithmic prison are more subtle but no less insidious. Predictive policing uses AI to determine where crimes are likely to occur, disproportionately targeting marginalized communities and reinforcing systemic biases. Facial recognition technology, once the stuff of science fiction, is now deployed in public spaces, tracking us as we go about our daily lives. Online behavior is monitored to assess our threat level, to shape our access to services, and even to influence our political views. Surveillance capitalism thrives by turning our very existence into a commodity, our privacy for profit, our autonomy for convenience. But the algorithmic prison is not just about watching, it is about molding. Algorithms determine what news we see, what ads we are shown, what products we are pushed to buy, and even what partners we might date. We live in a feedback loop, a curated reality where algorithms feed us the content most likely to engage us, enrage us, or influence us. The result is a society that is increasingly polarized, fragmented, and manipulated, with the digital gatekeepers holding the keys to what we perceive as reality. The danger is not just that we are being watched, it is that we are being shaped. The algorithmic prison locks us into patterns of behavior that benefit those in control. It is a system that thrives on predictability, on conformity, on compliance. And the more predictable we become, the easier we are to control. The more data we generate, the more we feed the algorithms that build our prisons. We are both the inmates and the architects of our confinement. Yet in this digital darkness, there is also a flicker of hope. The same technology that is used to surveil and control can be repurposed to liberate and empower. Encryption, decentralized networks, and open-source platforms offer a glimpse of a different kind of digital future. One where privacy is protected, data is democratized, and power is decentralized. The challenge is not technological, it is ideological. It is about reclaiming our right to privacy, our right to autonomy, and our right to exist without being constantly monitored and manipulated. To break free from the algorithmic prison, we must first understand how it is constructed. We must expose the architects and demand transparency in how our data is collected, stored, and used. We must advocate for digital rights and push for laws that protect individuals from unwarranted surveillance. But more than that, we must change the narrative. We must refuse to be reduced to data points, to be stripped of our humanity in exchange for convenience. We must resist the allure of the easy path, the path of ignorance, complacency, and submission, and choose the harder path of awareness, resistance, and rebellion. The matrix thrives on our passive acceptance. It survives because we allow it to, because we are seduced by the convenience of the very systems that imprison us. The algorithmic prison is only as strong as our willingness to accept it. The moment we question, the moment we resist, the moment we refuse to comply, we begin to dismantle it. The power of surveillance lies not just in the technology, but in our consent to be surveilled. The algorithmic prison is the new battlefield of freedom. In this war, we are all combatants, and the fight is not just for our privacy, but for our very souls. We must choose whether we will remain silent prisoners or rise as digital dissidents. The walls of the algorithmic prison are invisible, but they are not impenetrable. It is time to break free, to reclaim our digital lives, and to tear down the prison that seeks to define us. The future depends on it, and the battle begins now. The illusion of choice, free will in the matrix. In the new matrix, the idea of free will is not just under siege, it is being systematically dismantled and replaced with a carefully curated illusion. We are told we have choices, that our actions are our own, that our decisions are autonomous, and that our desires are genuine. But look closer, and you will see the cracks in this illusion. In reality, our choices are increasingly shaped, narrowed, and manipulated by an unseen force, the algorithms that govern our digital lives. What we perceive as free will is often little more than a preordained script written by the architects of the digital matrix, designed to keep us compliant, predictable, and controlled. Consider how you navigate your daily life in this digital age. The information you consume, the products you buy, the content you engage with, these are not choices made in a vacuum. They are guided by complex algorithms that know you better than you know yourself. They analyze your every click, every scroll, every moment of hesitation, and they learn. They learn what captures your attention, what fuels your emotions, what drives your actions. Armed with this knowledge, they serve you a reality that is meticulously curated to keep you engaged, enraged, or entrapped. This is not freedom. This is manipulation. The architects of this new reality, tech companies, digital marketers, political operatives, understand one crucial truth: control the information and you control the mind. Through the algorithms embedded in our social media feeds, search engines, and streaming platforms, they create a personalized reality for each of us. reinforcing our biases, stoking our fears, and amplifying our desires. The result is a society where people believe they are making free choices, while in reality, they are being subtly and visibly nudged in directions that serve the interests of those in control. This illusion of choice is not just about selling products or driving engagement. It is about shaping worldviews, ideologies, and beliefs. It is about creating echo chambers where dissent is muted and consensus is manufactured. When algorithms decide what news you see, what posts you read, and what opinions you are exposed to, they are not just influencing what you think. They are influencing how you think. They create a feedback loop where your beliefs are continuously reinforced, where your perspective becomes more rigid, more polarized, and more disconnected from any objective truth. This is not an accident. This is by design. It is the perfect mechanism of control in the digital age, a way to divide and conquer a population without them ever realizing they are being divided or conquered. Political campaigns have weaponized this illusion of choice to devastating effect. Using data harvested from our digital lives, they deploy micro-targeted ads and tailored messages designed to manipulate emotions, trigger fears, and provoke anger. Elections are won not by appealing to the rational mind, but by hacking the emotional core, exploiting psychological vulnerabilities, and presenting choices that are anything but free. This is not democracy. It is digital warfare. And in this war, the algorithm is the ultimate weapon. The illusion extends beyond politics and commerce. It permeates our social and personal lives as well. Dating apps use algorithms to determine who we might be interested in, subtly guiding us towards certain types of people and relationships. Music streaming services use algorithms to decide what songs we should like, nudging us to expand or narrow our tastes. Even our sense of self, our identity, is increasingly shaped by these digital forces. We believe we are choosing our paths, but in truth, we are often following scripts written for us by unseen hands. But there is an even deeper level of manipulation at play. The architects of the Matrix understand that the ultimate form of control is not to force compliance, but to make people believe they are acting of their own free will. This is the genius of the illusion of choice. When we believe our choices are our own, we become complicit in our own manipulation. We internalize the logic of the system, defending it even as it exploits us. We become the enforcers of our own digital prisons, mistaking our curated experiences for genuine freedom. The illusion of choice has profound implications for the concept of free will itself. If our desires can be predicted and shaped by algorithms, if our decisions can be anticipated and influenced before we even make them, then how much of our will is truly free? The question is not just philosophical, it is existential. It strikes at the core of what it means to be human. Are we autonomous beings with the power to shape our destinies? Or are we programmable entities, mere cogs in a vast digital machine that dictates the parameters of our existence? Yet recognizing the illusion is the first step toward reclaiming our free will. We must become conscious of how our choices are shaped by the digital matrix. We must learn to question the narratives fed to us, to challenge the algorithms that seek to control us, and to resist the easy path of passive consumption. We must cultivate awareness and critical thinking, recognizing that freedom is not given. It is earned through vigilance, resistance, and conscious choice. To break free from the illusion of choice, we must demand transparency from the digital gatekeepers. We must call for ethical standards in algorithm design that prioritize human agency over profit and control. We must push for regulations that protect our right to a fair and open digital landscape where information is not manipulated for ulterior motives. But more than that, we must reclaim our power as individuals. We must actively seek out diverse perspectives, break free from our digital echo chambers, and engage with the world beyond the confines of the algorithmic filters. The fight for free will in the Matrix is a fight for our humanity. It is a fight to assert our right to think, to choose, and to be in a world that increasingly seeks to define us by our data and control us through our desires. We must recognize the stakes and rise to the challenge. The Matrix wants us to believe we are free when we are anything but. It is time to tear down this illusion and reclaim the true essence of choice. The future of free will depends on it, and the battle begins with each of us. right here, right now. Breaking free, awakening from the digital illusion. The Matrix is not just a digital prison, it is a prison of the mind. It is a construct designed to keep us comfortable, distracted, and compliant. It thrives on our ignorance and feeds on our passivity. To break free from this all-encompassing illusion is not a simple task. It is a radical act of rebellion against a system that has infiltrated every aspect of our lives. Awakening from the digital illusion is not just about becoming aware of the Matrix. It is about shattering the chains that bind us, reclaiming our autonomy, and seizing the power to define our own reality. The first step to breaking free is to understand the depth of our entrapment. This digital illusion is meticulously crafted, using a combination of technology, psychology, and ideology to keep us in a perpetual state of distraction. Social media platforms hook us with the promise of connection, but deliver isolation. Streaming services drown us in endless content, numbing us to the world around us. E-commerce giants tempt us with convenience, while turning our desires into commodities. All the while, we are lulled into a false sense of freedom, believing that we are the masters of our choices when, in reality, we are being led down paths carefully orchestrated by algorithms and digital architects. Awakening means confronting this uncomfortable truth head-on. It means pulling back the curtain and seeing the Matrix for what it truly is, a mechanism of control that shapes our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. The architects of this digital prison, tech conglomerates, governments, data brokers, are not interested in our freedom. They are interested in our compliance. They want us docile, predictable, and above all, dependent on their platforms, services, and narratives. To awaken is to recognize that our attention is the currency of the digital age, and that every moment we spend plugged into their systems strengthens their power over us. But awareness is not enough. To awaken is to take action. It is to unplug from the distractions, break free from the echo chambers, and reclaim the agency that has been slowly eroded by the digital matrix. This means challenging the very foundation of our digital existence. It means questioning the algorithms that shape our reality, resisting the content that seeks to manipulate us, and rejecting the narrative that we are powerless. We must become active participants in our digital lives, not passive consumers. We must learn to use technology as a tool for empowerment, not as a crutch for convenience. Reclaiming our autonomy starts with reclaiming our attention. In a world where every platform is fighting for a piece of our consciousness, the most radical act is to turn away. Turn off the notifications that keep you tethered to your devices. Limit your exposure to the feeds designed to outrage and provoke you. Curate your own sources of information rather than allowing algorithms to dictate what you see and believe. Choose where to direct your focus and how to spend your time, and do so with intention and awareness. Your attention is your power. Do not give it away freely. Next, we must reclaim our privacy. In the digital age, privacy is not just a right, it is a form of resistance. The architects of the Matrix thrive on data. Every click, every like, every interaction is a piece of information that feeds their control mechanisms. To break free, we must disrupt this data flow. Use encryption to protect your communications. Use privacy-focused browsers and search engines that do not track your every move. Question every app, every platform, and every service that asks for your data. Demand to know how your information is being used and refuse to participate in systems that exploit your personal data for profit. But the most powerful form of awakening is to reclaim our sense of community and connection. The Matrix thrives on isolation. It wants us to be alone in front of our screens, believing that digital interaction is a substitute for genuine human connection. It wants us to forget the power of face-to-face conversations, the impact of collective action, and the strength of real-world relationships. To awaken is to reconnect with ourselves, with each other, and with the world around us. Seek out meaningful conversations. Build communities that are not dependent on digital platforms. Engage in acts of solidarity, resistance, and collaboration that defy the narrative of the Matrix. Awakening from the digital illusion also means reclaiming our creativity and our capacity to imagine new possibilities. The Matrix limits our vision to what is, trapping us in a cycle of consumption, distraction, and repetition. But we are more than consumers. We are creators, dreamers, and builders of new worlds. Reject the passive consumption of content designed to dull your mind and instead create your own. Write, draw, code, build, and imagine without the constraints imposed by digital algorithms that seek to define what is relevant or profitable. Reconnect with your innate human potential to shape reality, to inspire change, and to envision a world beyond the confines of the matrix. Breaking free is not an easy path. It requires courage, awareness, and relentless commitment. It requires a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about the systems we are embedded in and to take responsibility for our own liberation. It is about reclaiming our sovereignty in a world that is increasingly designed to undermine it. It is about recognizing that freedom is not something that can be given. It must be taken. It must be fought for, defended, and renewed with every decision, every action, and every choice we make. To awaken is to see the matrix for what it is, a construct of control, a simulation of reality, a digital prison. To break free is to recognize the power within us to dismantle it. The matrix wants us asleep, but we are waking up. We are shaking off the digital chains that have bound us for too long, and we are reclaiming the right to define our own destinies. The path is not easy, but it is necessary. The illusion is powerful, but it is not invincible. The architects of the matrix have built their fortress on the foundation of our compliance, and it is time to tear it down. The choice is yours, and it always has been. Will you remain a prisoner of the digital illusion, or will you awaken to the truth and reclaim your power? The time to act is now. The matrix is crumbling, and a new world is waiting to be built by those who dare to dream, by those who dare to resist, by those who dare to be free. The path to a new reality, building a humane future. We stand at a pivotal moment in human history, a crossroads where we must decide what kind of future we want to build. The matrix, with all its digital illusions, manipulations, and controls, has shown us the dangers of unchecked technological power. But this moment of awakening is also a moment of unprecedented opportunity. We have a choice: continue down the path of digital subjugation, or forge a new reality where technology serves humanity, amplifies our potential, and enhances our freedom. The path to a new reality is not paved with blind faith in innovation, but with a fierce commitment to creating a humane future that values autonomy, connection, and consciousness over profit, efficiency, and control. The first step on this path is to redefine our relationship with technology. We must move away from the passive consumption model that the current digital matrix promotes and embrace a model of active, intentional engagement. Technology should be a tool that empowers us, not a force that dictates our behavior or limits our potential. This means demanding technology that respects our privacy, protects our data, and prioritizes our well-being. It means rejecting systems that exploit our attention, manipulate our emotions, or reduce us to mere data points. We must take control of our digital lives and insist on technology that aligns with our values and enhances our humanity. To build this new reality, we must also rethink the very architecture of the digital world. The centralized, monopolistic structures that dominate today's internet, the tech giants that control the flow of information, the algorithms that manipulate our choices, the platforms that exploit our data, are not the only way. A decentralized, open, and transparent digital ecosystem is possible. We must push for technologies that decentralize power and give it back to the people. Blockchain, peer-to-peer networks, and open-source software are not just buzzwords. They are the building blocks of a more equitable digital future. These technologies have the potential to break down the walled gardens of the digital elite and empower individuals to take control of their own data, identities, and communities. However, technology alone will not save us. The path to a humane future requires a cultural shift, a reawakening of our human values, and a recommitment to what truly matters. We must prioritize human connection over digital addiction, creativity over consumption, and empathy over division. This means cultivating digital literacy, not just in terms of how to use technology, but in understanding how it uses us. We must educate ourselves and future generations to be critical thinkers, aware of how algorithms shape our reality, and vigilant against the forces that seek to manipulate our perceptions and actions. We must also rebuild our sense of community in an age of digital fragmentation. The Matrix has isolated us, convincing us that virtual connections are a substitute for real, meaningful relationships. It has eroded our sense of solidarity, our capacity for collective action, and our ability to stand together against the forces that seek to divide and control us. The path to a new reality requires us to reclaim these lost connections, to build communities that are resilient, self-sufficient, and capable of resisting the manipulation of the digital age. This means creating spaces, both online and offline, where genuine dialogue can happen, where diverse perspectives can be heard, and where collective action can be organized. A humane future also demands a new ethical framework for the digital age. The unchecked rise of AI, surveillance capitalism, and data exploitation has exposed the moral bankruptcy of a system driven solely by profit and efficiency. We must establish a new set of digital rights that protect individuals from exploitation, ensure privacy and security, and uphold the principles of transparency and accountability. We must hold the architects of the digital world accountable for the impact of their creations on society and insist on ethical standards that prioritize human dignity over corporate greed. Moreover, the path to a new reality must be rooted in a deep respect for our autonomy. In the current matrix, our choices are increasingly dictated by algorithms that aim to predict and influence our every move. To build a future that values human freedom, we must resist the reduction of our lives to a series of data points to be analyzed and manipulated. We must advocate for technologies and policies that protect our right to make our own choices, to be the authors of our own stories, and to define our own destinies. Building a humane future also requires reimagining the role of governance in the digital age. Governments must move beyond being mere spectators or collaborators in the rise of the digital matrix and take an active role in regulating and shaping the digital landscape. This means enacting laws that protect digital rights, breaking up monopolies that stifle innovation and competition, and ensuring that technology serves the public good rather than private interests. It means creating a digital Bill of Rights that guarantees freedom, privacy, and security for all citizens in this new digital reality. But governance is not enough. Real change must come from the ground up, from individuals, communities, and movements that refuse to accept the status quo and are willing to fight for a better future. It is up to us to demand more from our technologies, our governments, and ourselves. It is up to us to be the builders, the visionaries, and the rebels who are not content with the illusions of the matrix and who dare to dream of a different reality. The path to a new reality is not an easy one. It will require resistance, resilience, and radical imagination. It will require us to confront the forces of power and control that have shaped the digital matrix and to challenge them with new models of technology, governance, and community. It will require us to be vigilant, to resist complacency, and to remain committed to the vision of a future where technology amplifies our humanity rather than diminishes it. The choice before us is clear: a future defined by the digital matrix, dominated by surveillance, manipulation, and control, or a future defined by a new digital renaissance, rooted in freedom, creativity, and human dignity. The path to a new reality will not be built by those who are content to be prisoners of the current system. It will be built by those who dare to break free, who dare to imagine the impossible, and who dare to create a world that is truly free. The matrix is strong, but our will to be free is stronger. The future is not a given. It is ours to shape, to build, and to claim. The time to act is now. Let us be the architects of a new reality, a humane future where technology serves the greater good, and where every individual has the power to live a life of purpose, connection, and freedom. The path is before us, and the journey begins today. The choice is yours. The Matrix is not just a story, it is a warning. It is a reflection of the world we are building, a world where technology has the potential to enslave us as easily as it has the potential to set us free. We have explored the dark architecture of our digital reality, the rise of AI as our new rulers, the seductive trap of virtual worlds, the erosion of our identities into fragmented data points, and the illusion of choice that keeps us in a state of manipulated obedience. We have seen the walls of the algorithmic prison closing in, tightening their grip with every swipe, every click, every moment we give away to the digital overlords who have built this matrix. But this is not the end of the story. It is merely the beginning. The choice is now in your hands. Will you continue to live as a passive participant in a system designed to exploit you, to keep you distracted, divided, and docile? Or will you awaken to the reality of your situation, tear down the illusions, and reclaim your agency, your autonomy, your very essence as a human being? The choice is not a simple one. It is a call to action, a call to arms, a call to reclaim what it truly means to be free. Choosing to break free from the matrix is not a one-time decision. It is a constant battle. It is about seeing the system for what it is, an elaborate construct that uses convenience as a leash, that trades our data for profit, that exploits our desires for control. To choose freedom means to live with your eyes wide open, to question everything that is presented to you, to challenge the narratives that are fed to you by those who benefit from your compliance. Freedom in the digital age requires a radical reimagining of our relationship with technology. It requires that we do not simply accept the tools we are given, but that we question who is wielding them, for what purpose, and to what end. It means demanding transparency, fighting for our privacy, and rejecting the notion that our every move should be tracked, recorded, and monetized. It means embracing a new kind of digital citizenship, one where we are not merely users, but co-creators of our digital environments, where we hold the power and responsibility to shape the systems that shape us. The journey to reclaim freedom is both a personal and a collective endeavor. On a personal level, it means taking back control of your attention, your data, and your digital footprint. It means disconnecting from the echo chambers that reinforce your biases and seeking out diverse perspectives that challenge your thinking. It means becoming digitally literate, understanding how algorithms work, how they influence you, and how they can be resisted. It means unplugging from the endless stream of distractions designed to numb you and instead engaging with the world, with people, and with ideas that elevate you. On a collective level, it means organizing, mobilizing, and pushing back against the forces that seek to keep us divided and conquered. It means building communities that are resistant to manipulation, that are grounded in truth, and that are committed to creating a future that is fair, just, and humane. It means demanding policies that regulate the unchecked power of tech giants, protect our digital rights, and ensure that technology serves the common good rather than private interests. It means standing together, not as fragmented data points, but as a united force that refuses to be defined, reduced, or controlled by the matrix. But most importantly, choosing freedom means reclaiming our right to dream. The matrix thrives on limiting our vision, on trapping us in a cycle of fear, anxiety, and complacency. It wants us to believe that this is as good as it gets, that we are powerless to change the course of our destiny. But that is the greatest lie of all. We are not powerless. We are not helpless. We are not mere cogs in a digital machine. We are the architects of our own fate, the dreamers of new possibilities, the builders of a future that has yet to be written. The power to change the narrative is in our hands, but it requires us to act. It requires us to break free from the mental chains that have been placed upon us, to reject the digital serfdom that has been sold to us as progress, and to embrace a vision of the future that is rooted in freedom, dignity, and humanity. It requires us to be bold, to be brave, and to be unyielding in our pursuit of a reality where we are not defined by the systems that seek to control us, but by the values that unite us. The matrix is a choice, and so is freedom. You can choose to remain a prisoner of comfort, of convenience, of conformity, or you can choose to step into the unknown, to confront the forces that seek to limit you, and to carve out a space where true freedom can exist. The journey will not be easy. It will be filled with challenges, with resistance, with moments of doubt. but it will also be filled with moments of clarity, of empowerment, and of connection that cannot be manufactured by any digital simulation. The choice is yours, and it always has been. The future is not a foregone conclusion. It is a canvas waiting for those who dare to paint a different picture, who dare to dream a different dream. The matrix may be powerful, but the human spirit is more powerful still. It is time to rise up, to wake up, and to reclaim the freedom that is our birthright. It is time to write the next chapter, one where we are not mere characters in a story dictated by others, but the authors of our own destiny. The choice is yours. What will you choose? About the author, this book was created with the assistance of artificial intelligence, AI. The content within has been generated and refined through the use of advanced AI tools and technologies to ensure accuracy, comprehensiveness, and clarity. While every effort has been made to provide valuable and reliable information, the use of AI means that this book should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Readers are encouraged to consult with healthcare professionals, therapists, or other qualified experts for specific guidance related to their personal circumstances. Thank you for understanding and for choosing this book. Ciro Irmici, Spartaco 94 Mas. Table of Contents. Contents. The future is Matrix, AI, virtual worlds, and the quest for freedom. Entering the new Matrix, the rise of the digital architectures, virtual reality, the new frontier or the ultimate trap, artificial intelligence, the new rulers of human destiny, digital identity and the fragmented self, the algorithmic prison, surveillance and control in the age of data, the illusion of choice, free will in the matrix, breaking free, awakening from the digital illusion, the path to a new reality, building a humane future. The choice is yours. About the author. Guide. Contents.